Darn! I should have got that one. Well, always not worth a try, but you can always try again. Oh! Hi! You scared me. Uh, well, what brings you here? What was I? Oh, I was playing the Atari 2600. Uh, Playing a game by Activision. Well, yes, I am a huge arcade nerd. I I do come here ever so often to play and just, chill. Kind of take it to unwind. What brings you here to this fine arcade establishment? Well, this arcade and bar. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh, so you're basically an arcade nerd just like me. I know I found another person that was an arcade nerd. I didn't know you like arcades, did you? Mm-hmm. Well, um, what brings me here? What brings me here is the absolute huge selection of arcades they have. And not to mention the amount of arcades they have from the Master System to the Super Nintendo to the Nintendo Entertainment System. There's a plethora of things you can choose from. It's absolutely insane. I recently discovered this arcade. I would always come here and enjoy playing either Sonic or Mario or Street Fighter or any other kind of arcade game they have to offer. Mm-hmm. Well, everyone has their own preferences. Everyone, doesn't really like going to different things, but here, have a whole selection of them. Mm-hmm. How long have I been coming here? I've been coming here for about. I've been coming here for about basically a year because last year I was hanging out with several friends and I did recently they introduced me to this arcade and bar and I'm like, well, this is a pretty cool place. Ever since then on the weekends I would come here sometimes with friends, sometimes well, not the weekends, actually monthly and hang out with them, play some different arcade consoles, eat pizza, drink like a Pepsi, whatever fits whichever best floats your boat, You know what I mean? Um, I don't think it was that. I think it was. So, I don't own any at home. If I were to own any console at home, I would definitely do it. But if you looked on the marketplace right now, there's like a ton that are super expensive. I think of it as scams. Like here, think of it as scams, right? You go on like eBay or any other kind of Amazon, you got some guy literally asking you like, hey, you want this? $5,000 for an original NES. I was looking on there and yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. No. Not in a million years it would ever cut it. Well, this isn't technically this is more this is more than just an arcade place. They have a dance floor, they have a bunch of movies, they have arcades you can play. You didn't know that? Yeah, they have movies you could actually rent. This place is just plastered with them. A lot of them. It's crazy. But most importantly, I mean, I don't see how they keep up with these arcade machines. They're in such good condition. I've not seen a single one of them in a very long time. Some of the consoles here that they have to offer on these small television screens, they're in perfect condition. I don't see how they keep up with them. Well, yeah. I went up there and I asked the guy at the bar. I'm like, how do you guys have all this stuff? Like, how did you get all this perfect condition stuff? Apparently, what they told me was that some people kept their stuff in good condition. They came in and they gave it to the owner who made this place, which I thought was very cool. These are all original. Original controllers, original consoles from the Nat Geo, Sega Master System, the NES, the Super NES, you name it. They have everything in here, including the Sega Saturn and the first PlayStation that got released in '94. I was blown away by it. I loved it so much. I could I I never touched it. I only came here a few times. I never did touch it. The only thing that I would constantly play on would be the Sega Genesis because I've seen tons and tons of YouTube videos about different systems and I'm like, this is a pretty cool system. What's my favorite console from back in the day? You mean retro console? Yeah. My favorite retro console is the Sega Genesis. Now, if you're talking about 94, 95 shore limits, like, man, there are tons of options you could have that you can apply yourself with. The Sega Genesis is what stood out to me the most because you had Sonic, not just Sonic, but I thought it was better than the Super Nintendo. What was your favorite? The Oh, the Super Nintendo? Yeah, we're gonna have problems. We're gonna have problems, okay? We're gonna have problems. I'll tell you what, the Super Nintendo, knowing Nintendo back in the day, they didn't improve on their stuff. Yes, I'm being dead serious. They didn't improve on their stuff. Okay, you could say it like that, okay? Listen here. I know the Sega Genesis had, of course, they had 32-bit, but I mean, you had to attach it to the console and all that other good, all that stuff. But like, I can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with it, right? The mhm. Well, don't start that crap with me. I've had tons of people tell me that they only like the Super Nintendo and the NES because of Super Mario. Seriously? That's your number one excuse for liking those consoles? For liking those consoles in particular? I didn't like it just because of Sonic. I liked it because it was pretty daggone cool. The add-ons that I just said you would get would basically you could attach them to the Sega Genesis, like the 32X, the Sega CD. That hold on, I'm getting my stuff confused now. Was it? It was it? What was that? Oh yeah, the Genesis CD or whatever you want to call it, CD. When they released that, that was pretty cool, in my opinion. But the worst thing, what was the first CD? The first CD was the 3DIO by Philips with that horrible, awful Hyrule thing that they had with Nintendo. You don't know what I mean, do you? You don't know that horrible, that that one Hyrule thing from the 3DO Philips CDI. I think it. I know it was made by Philips. I think it was a CDI. Don't get me wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it was. I don't remember. Do you know? No. Well, they had Hyrule. They had on there Link Me Boy, his father. Now you see what I'm saying? Yes, you know exactly what I'm saying. I knew you would understand. I knew you would. Yes, the one thing that turned into a meme. Yes, yes, the one thing that people use as a meme nowadays. Yes, all the time. I get that. Like, I'm like, why does this happen? Yeah, let me tell you this. I've never had the CDI or the thing by Philips. That was their first CD product, but that was awful. They, that sucker was $700 back in the day. It would be over $1,000 if it was in today's market, inflation wise. Oh yeah, oh yeah. If you were to say any of like the Atari Jaguar, any Atari, Sega, any other consoles, or yeah, consoles, they would be past that inflation point because they were cheaper back in the day. Inflation jacks everything up. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, knowing me and my stuff, I know for a fact that this place I come to because I want to reminisce in all the memories. I was an arcade kid. I loved going to arcades. I haven't been in years, and I found this place, and I'm like, it's magical. I usually I tend to think of this place as an escape from the real world because the amount of arcades there is, the plethora of ideas you could do, not plethora of ideas, blah 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 blah. Sorry about that. My brain likes to have a stutter moment. Um, the amount of entertainment you can do is like infinite. It's something I love doing for year. Like, oh man, I grew up in the arcade as a kid. I literally did. I enjoyed every second of it. I would go. Like, I'd come down here and enjoy it a lot. But it's been over several years now, and I know there are some places like this that have this kind of stuff. It's just you don't know where you can find it rarely. So, do I love it? Yes, I do love it. I love it a lot. I enjoy it a lot, but it doesn't stop me from having fun. So, well, I would love to stay here and keep chatting about arcades and stuff, but um it's getting really late and I know it's yes. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. It was really good talking to you. It was really fun talking to you. Yeah, yeah. Arcades and consoles and old stuff from the 80s. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I'll definitely see you around. That's if we find each other here again, okay? Right. Right. I'm going to play one more round of this game and then I'm heading out. So, you stay safe. Bye. Oh, where's this? Uh,